it was our mission for teams not to like us because people liked the Minnesota Lynx. They wanted to come to Minneapolis, eat the good food, enjoy the beautiful scenery. And we just had to change that. And so I'm happy to say that. And it's funny because it's not just me or our staff or even our players like a Lindsay Whalen or a Simone Maya who are incredibly likable became unlikable. When people started saying they didn't like Maya Moore, it's the craziest thing ever. That's what winning does. But even our business staff, when our business staff walks into the room at league meetings, they're hated because they're winning the awards.
Oh, wow.
So it's something that we actually enjoy. It's the finest form of flattery that there is.
That's awesome. See, I knew I'd get a good answer if I just kept pushing. Hey, we want to thank Shelly Bean, the Sports Queen books, ShellyBeanTheSportsQueen.com. It's Shelly Boyne Breen line of books about young female athlete, a kid who, tries out all the different sports, but also a very diverse group of characters that you just don't see as often as you should. She is now in a partnership with She Is Sport, SheIsSport.com. Go check out, as they say on their website, they're building a community of 1 million plus women's sports fans. Are you in? You can join up. You can sign up to be a part of things, and you'll see just how many other cool people are involved here. We're talking about Megan Rapinoe, the Las Vegas Aces, Kyla Ohlmiller. I'll let you go. Go to She Is Sport and check it out. Also go to ShellyBeanTheSportsQueen.com. Use the promo code TALKNORTH. You will get 20% off any orders with that promo code, and Shelly herself will sign whatever she sends out under that promo code. And again, you'll see testimonials from great people all over the country who are doing good work. You'll see, just how involved Shelly is with this movement, and you'll get a taste of how good the books are. She's known as an author and creator, and I would keep an eye on her. She is working on some really cool stuff that we'll reveal down the road. So ShellyBeanTheSportsQueen.com, promo code TALKNORTH, and congratulations to Shelly for building such a great and good-hearted business. So they're chartering flights for WNBA teams. I'm sure you're happy that it happened. I'm sure you wish it had happened a little earlier.
Well, truth be told, really since the change in format, it was really just this season and last that we weren't sitting, in the top 2 seeds where you just, basically wait at home and let everybody else get banged up and flying all over the place and coming in tired. The schedule will be awful. Only one day in between games. This is all because of TV. So I didn't really. I knew that it was difficult for our opponents, but I really didn't care. It was. We earned our top seed, and so does it make a lot of sense? Absolutely. I'm sure that Kurt Miller is saying, "Oh, sure, now you level the playing field. Now that I've got a top 2 seed, now you're going to make it easier for my opponents." But it's really something that was a no-brainer. I give Kathy Engelbert so much credit. Bill talks about we now have a real commissioner, not a president,
I saw that,
but a commissioner, and that speaks volume. I don't know when it's a decision, but what's really impressive to me, and it's why I say I think we have a chance with Kathy, not just her South Jersey connection. There's no doubt that she would have a great deal of intelligence and capability because of that. But I think the easy things get handled quickly. For example, she took me through the decision on the situation we had the referee with Stu Dew from Chicago, where Kevin Fahey ejected Stu Dew from the game on something that was viewed as contact with an official. Kathy Engelbert watched that video, called the staff. There's more than just one staff, but called everyone involved and said, "I want a statement out right now. That was wrong. We're rescinding that." And kind of got some pushback with people going, "Hey, that's not what we've done." Kathy said, "This is what we're doing. This is something really easy. We have a kind of an unreasonable situation where we have teams playing on the West Coast that have a game a day later. It makes no sense to make those teams commercial. And we've said this for a few years now. Okay, if you can't charter throughout the season, let's charter in the playoffs. The change in format has caused this need. And so you want that format, that's fine. ESPN, you want to make this schedule where we're playing. Last year we finished our season on Sunday. We played a first round playoff game on Tuesday. Teams that were on the East Coast and West Coast and travel and da-da-da. It doesn't make sense. So if you're going to do these things, you got to help. You got to help the players. You got to keep them better able to perform without being absolutely exhausted. They're still going to be tired. You still got to fly the distance. That's not going to go away. But at least you can, kind of negate some of the negatives of commercial travel. You can leave when you need to leave. I suspect that they left following the game. Now you're in the city. You might sleep a little bit later, but at least you're there already. So again, these are simple things. Doesn't mean that it's simple in terms of the investment. But I think it speaks volumes. Speaks, for the players going, oh, okay, so now we have a commissioner that actually seems like she's listening and cares about us. And like Nneka said, she set the bar high. Well, I think she's got real credibility, and I think it's going to help a lot with the players.
I want to get your just general thoughts on how this season went, whether it lived up to expectations, what you think the future is. And to be honest, we're going to be having this conversation for the entire offseason. If you're new to this program, we do the shows in the offseason. In fact, sometimes the offseason shows are even better because we can get deeper into issues. It's not just game-by-game stuff. I really enjoy those. So look forward to that. Do want to first thank Cara Quinn, Caraquinn, from Brick and Bannister Real Estate. You can reach her at cara@brickandbannister.com. You can find her on Facebook, Zillow, or Instagram. She is a Twin Cities native who has traveled the world, who has looked at just beautiful architecture in Europe, and who came home to find those kinds of homes for you and to help you sell your home, of course. She lives in the Tanglewood neighborhood of Minneapolis. She runs and bikes around the lakes and on the parkway. She sees the most beautiful areas in the Twin Cities, but she can help you wherever you're looking. Cara Quinn, cara@brickandbannister.com. That's one N in Bannister. So do you have any general final thoughts about the way the season went? I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, there were so many, parts of the season. There was the beginning, we got off to such a great start, at 3-1, but if you go back and you look at, maybe where those teams were, it made sense, We were at home. Obviously our fans turned out, which I so appreciate, the season that we needed them the most. They were there for us. We got off to a really good start. Then all of a sudden expectations got high because we started off the year 3-1. And then, we go on the road, we hit some rough patches. We kind of go through these ebbs and flows of a season. We ended up being a pretty decent road team. I think in our best years, just over 500 on the road, it was probably about what we were going to be. I think the area that I think our players would tell you that we didn't really grab a hold of the importance of winning your home games until a little bit later in the season. I'm thankful that we grabbed a hold of that. I don't care whether you're playing the league's top team. You should win your home games, and because we think that we're good enough. Even if a team has more talent, we just feel like that home game. It's just it's like we said, by whatever means necessary, win the game. Because when you win your home games, you have a chance to have a special season. So we kind of got that. We played great against Connecticut at home. We played great against Vegas at home after, not beating those teams earlier in the season. So I was really, really pleased with our progress and understanding some of the staples of this franchise. So they understand that. We've had some great stretches. We played great. Our last 4-game home stretch, we played great. We got through some, really difficult times with injuries, and never really getting Kareem and Christmas Kelly, not having Simone, till well into it, losing Jess Shepard, losing Demiris, for a tough stretch. There were times we had 7-8 players, it was easy in terms of playing time. You knew what you had, and everybody knew they were going to play and what their role was.
That's one way to look at it.
That's one, and the players will tell you that was, like Stephanie Talbot, that was her favorite time.
Right.
You couldn't take her out, or anybody else. Like, you just have to, get through it. And so that sometimes it's the easiest way to coach, and obviously for players. But that's not how it works. When you're healthy, you have a group of players that you have to, manage things. And I would say overall, it was a season that we're proud of. We understand that expectations were not high externally of our team, but that's not whose expectations we were trying to meet. We had our own expectations. This group has always, and that's why I so appreciate about them. They have always had a confidence about what they were capable of doing. It was not a tough sell to tell them, what we thought they could be. I guess when it was all said and done, I thought we had a pretty nice year.
I'm going to get a final thought from Cheryl here. And again, if you're relatively new to the podcast, we try to keep these to a length where you can listen on a commute or a walk or while at the gym or something like that. So we're going to save we don't try to get to everything every week. We try to save some cool stuff for down the road. I have a lot of things I want to talk to Cheryl about the rest of this month and the rest of this off season. And I really appreciate Cheryl taking the time to do this, even on her busiest days. She finds a way to make this work in her schedule while being a coach and general manager and working for Team USA. I don't know how she does it. Also, in addition to SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com, Shelly being the SportsQueen.com, and Cara Quinn, also want to thank Bitesquad for their network-wide sponsorship. If you haven't used Bitesquad before, use the promo code TALKNORTH. Your first delivery fee will be waived. Keep using them after that, just because they've been a great company to us, and I think they're building something pretty cool. Final thought for today, Cheryl.
Well, I think just just going back to Nafisa Collier and the Rookie of the Year, I think about how much work went into it. Not only Nafisa, who did the bulk of the work in her play, but just the behind the scenes. We have a tremendous staff, a tremendous support staff on the business side. There's our social media team. The campaign was one that we're all proud of, and I was so thrilled for Taylor, for Cody, for Aaron Freeman, for the amount of work that they put into this thing and the belief that they had in Nafisa to see it work out as well as it did. And obviously, we're so proud of Nafisa for being the tremendous rookie that she was, and has given us a player going forward that I think everyone's excited about and somebody we can build around.
So next week we'll talk about Cheryl winning the Executive of the Year award. Just putting you on the spot. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think we'll have lots to talk about next week and as we go forward. Thanks again to Cheryl. Thanks to our sponsors. Check out TalkNorth.com. If you'd like other sports, we do all the sports. Again, I appreciate Cheryl taking all the time she took during the season, a very busy season for her, to make this part of her routine. Thanks to all of our listeners. We'll talk to you next week.